Welcome back to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Wednesday, May 18th at 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm going to join the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce in their Business After Hours networking event at the Terminal 1 Sports Bar located at 566 Spring Street. For all of the more experienced folks in our city, that was formerly known as Aranio's Tavern. Immediately after that event at 5:30 in the evening, I'm going to join members of the Elizabeth Cubanos Lions Club and other Elizabeth residents as the Cuban flag outside of City Hall will be raised on 50 Winfield Scott Plaza, commemorating the Cuban independence of the late 1800s. On Thursday, May 19th at 5 o'clock in the evening, I'll attend the first annual Lead Day Jamboree. This is the former DARE program. It is hosted by the Elizabeth Municipal Alliance Committee. This event will be held at the X-Laven Recreation Center at 515 Richmond Street. For more information, please call 908-820-4050, Miss Andrea Topping, and that was the subject of last week's show. On Sunday, May 22nd at 9 o'clock, I'm going to participate in the 13th annual Tour de Elizabeth. This will begin in the front of City Hall at 50 Winfield Scott Plaza. It's also going to be the subject of the beginning of this evening's show. And following that event at 1 o'clock, I'm going to join members of the Cuban community and other Elizabeth residents for the Cuban Day Parade. And this parade route will begin at Union Square, located in between High Street and New Point Road, and will end in the front of City Hall at 50 Winfield Scott Plaza. It's a busy day for City Hall that Sunday with the bicycle ride and the Cuban parade. So if you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these messages where we're going to talk about the 13th annual Tour de Elizabeth.
We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kean University.
Welcome back to our city. I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Jonathan Phillips, the Executive Director of Groundwork Elizabeth and the original creator, along with others, of the Tour de Elizabeth. Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back, Mayor.
And also Mr. Rudy Burgos, who is the Tour Marshal. I believe it's his 5th year here in the Tour de Elizabeth. Rudy, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Now, Rudy, you told a good story last year when you were here that you just happened to stumble on the ride 5 years ago.
Yes.
And now you're the Tour Marshal. Tell us how all this happened.
It just happened like I told you last time. They go by my house all the time.
They
all
rode by your house?
Oh, yes. I'm like, what is that? Finally, one year, I came across a flyer, and I joined. And then the next year, I became a marshal. Been doing it ever since.
Now you're a Tour Marshal.
I love it.
Pretty soon you're going to be the chairman of the group.
Yeah.
You keep moving
I'm
up.
gonna be with this guy.
You'll be with this guy, right? So, Jonathan, 13th year. Did you expect this to last that long when you started?
I'll tell you, we didn't know what to expect that very first year. We had maybe 50 riders signed up pre-ride. We ended up with 100, and it just caught on. It's just been getting bigger and bigger every year and more exciting. We're just shocked it's the 13th.
I know, and so every year has a theme. One year you did movies in Elizabeth, I remember correctly. Another year you did the history of Elizabeth. So what is this year's theme?
Well, this year's theme, with the help, we use the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders has a heart grant, and with that grant we actually put our brains together and figure out the theme. And this year it's Bikes and Bites. We're featuring Elizabeth's restaurants, exotic places to eat, diverse places to eat here, and it's going to be really great.
Bikes and what?
Bikes and Bites, B-I-T-E-S.
Bikes and Bites.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some of the restaurants are going to be there or giving out gift certificates or something?
What's going to happen is some will be there, but not serving food, but they'll be giving coupons and goodie bags that people can pick up as they ride.
So, Jonathan, in your opinion, Rudy sees a bunch of riders going by his house for years, and he's trying to figure out what this is. So, where do you live, Rudy? What block?
Eaton Street.
Eaton Street. So he sees all these riders coming by, and he says, I got to be part of this.
Yeah.
So we know why Rudy comes back. He likes it, and now he's a tour marshal. What do you think makes these riders come back every year. We had, what, 800 last year?
Yeah, we did, and probably have more this year. Part of it's marketing it correctly. And we actually have the Elizabeth Destination Marketing Organization that made a beautiful promotion for us this year. But really, it gets down to bicycles and people. And a bicycle doesn't care how old you are, how young you are, what
Oh,
color
trust
you
me,
are.
a bicycle does care.
But when you get on that bicycle, you have the opportunity to ride in the streets of Elizabeth, beautiful, New Jersey's fourth largest city, very historic city, without any type of traffic because the police are taking care of it. You want to come back and you want to see the beautiful sites like the waterfront, like Jersey Gardens Mall, like other sites around.
This will be the first year back to the waterfront after the hurricane, correct? That we were there last year, but it wasn't completely finished.
Yeah, this year, and it looks really great down there. There's obviously a park that the firemen built alongside the waterfront as well. We'll be driving by there, down the waterfront. People will see all different views of Elizabeth.
Going by my house again?
Yes, we are.
Oh, yeah. A lady with the port stand, you don't know what goes on up there.
I actually did. Last year, I jumped on a bike for the first time, and I actually rode half of it. And I went up to that spot.
Oh, you did. Rudy, was that a favorite spot of yours? Would they stop and have the port or what?
It gets clogged up there.
It does.
It does.
It does. I know as people turn onto my block, they're all sitting there talking to my neighbors, sipping some port.
Yes.
It's great of the neighbors to do that.
At 9:30 in the morning.
At 9:30 in the morning. Who would have a ride where halfway through it you have to have some port and there's some cheese there as well?
Yes.
So Rudy, who benefits from the tour and the proceeds of this tour?
Everybody benefits from it. And he's
Yeah, I agree with Rudy. It's really everyone benefits from it, from the riders to the restaurants in this case, to the city generally, and to Destination Marketing Organization, which is marketing the city as a place to go, and also our nonprofit Groundwork benefits from it. Allows us to do to change places, change lives, and make it a greener place to live and play.
Tell us about Groundwork, Elizabeth, Jonathan. It's an organization that the city collaborated with you maybe 10 years ago, maybe more.
In 2003,
Yeah, 13 years
City
ago.
got together with the National Park Service, and you both initiated a grant and agreement, and Groundwork was born. And our purpose is to improve the physical environment and therefore improve people's lives and to build sustainable communities. So our logo is changing places, changing lives. And we've done things like the River Trail, we've done urban agriculture, we've done a lot of bushes and plants and flowers along the parks and things like that. And we're increasing the self-esteem of people in the community and the beauty in the community and making it a better place.
Do you know the cost of this, Rudy, and how it gets in, and also what are the riders going to get?
the cost to
ride?
It's $25 the day of the event. It's $20 if you do it before May 10th. Is it?
Yeah, but that's past. But
Okay, so and then you get a free hat and a free shirt if you pre-register.
Hold up one of those hats. That's going to be the hat this year, right?
Yes, sir.
If you pre-register, because we only have enough, and we always seem to run out of hats and shirts,
Yes,
don't
we do.
Now the orange shirt you have on is for the marshals and the
Marshals
marketing
only.
ones, right?
If you need help, you come look for one of us.
You look for the orange shirt.
Yes, sir.
This year. And is that announced before the tour?
Yes.
Okay. Jonathan, a rundown on what will happen on event day.
okay, well, everybody's either pre-registered, they've already done it up to this point, or they're going to come on that Sunday and actually go up to the stand. They'll register. They'll give their name to everybody. If they're pre-registered, they're going to have their name already. If they're new, they're going to put it in there. And then they're going to get a ticket, which allows them to get their hat and their T-shirt, which we want them to put on. And when they get back from the ride, which is 15 miles, actually there's a 7-mile stopping point in the middle. When they get back from the entire 15, technically it's a 16-mile ride this year, they get their goodie bag full of the...
I'm not going to make that extra mile, Jonathan.
Oh, you can do it.
I do the 15. But that extra mile is going to give me great difficulty.
They come back and they get their goodie bag. And then we give out prizes. We have a free raffle as well. So everybody gets a raffle ticket, and they wait till the end, and then they wait after the end, and many of them will look at the Cuban parade as well.
I know, because the Cuban parade comes in as soon as your event
it's
gets
tight,
going.
yeah.
It's tight. Well, we moved along pretty good.
Every year we've done it great.
Because the race starts very promptly at what time? 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. And we
9
want
a.m.
people to actually come and register earlier at 7:30. Get there early, get your hat, get your T-shirt, get in line, listen to DJ Rob's music and announcements, and get ready for the ride to start promptly at 9.
A race or a leisure ride, Rudy?
And I'm a leisure.
Leisure ride.
Yeah, no racer here.
No racer there. Do some people race through this thing?
Oh, yes. The first group, you don't even see them. They take off and they're gone.
Is there a marshal with that first group as well?
Not sure.
But it's not you.
But it's definitely not me.
Is there a marshal with that first
Yeah,
group?
Paul Pasternak from the police department, but he's really a great cyclist. He's done it every year, and these riders push him. I mean, they'll go very, very quickly.
All right.
Yeah.
And then there's this second wave, or the second
Yeah.
and third are combined?
Yeah, we actually still have two groups after that. There's a second group, which is pretty much your routine rider. And then we do have a place for families, because this is really not a race, like Rudy said. This is a ride. So if you have younger children that can ride 15 miles, they're in the third group.
Okay. Give me some tips on bicycle safety.
Well, first thing we'd like to tell the viewers, is that May is National Bicycle Month, and in a couple days, May 20th, is actually Ride Your Bike to Work Month. And probably the most important thing besides having your bicycle is having a helmet on. So I just would ask Rudy to put the helmet on right now. We want people to see that a helmet's the most important thing you can have on your head, one of the most important accessories for a bicycle. And what should happen is the visor should be in front. I can't tell you how many people I see where the visor goes in the back. They think it's cool, like a baseball cap. It doesn't go that way. And these straps, if people can see it, have to go right beneath the ear. Then you click it on and make sure it's tight.
And hopefully that'll prevent some head injuries.
Yeah. And also, other bicycle safety tips are making sure you have air in your tires, making sure your brakes work, making sure your chain is lubed up. You probably should take it to a bicycle shop if you can before you start the tour.
That's probably a good point to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But there's also people along the route that can help you if you break down, right?
Yep, we have a SAG wagon, courtesy of the police department and the fire department. We also have 2 EMT guys that are riding bicycles with everybody. And many of the marshals, like Rudy, are trained to stop and help people if they have a problem with the bike.
Okay. The route is always fascinating to me. You spent a lot of time developing the route, right?
Yeah, and for the first time, Mayor, we have the route published on the Facebook site, the Groundwork, the Tour de Elizabeth Facebook site. It'll be, it's on the city website as well, and we're going to broadcast it to everybody. Yep.
And we start at City Hall and we go which way?
We start at City Hall, we go down Elizabeth Avenue to Broad Street, go through North Elizabeth for the first half, and then come back to City Hall and go down to the Seaport on the second half.
And then back. Okay. So, Rudy, tell me about preparation. You like to be a leisure rider. What preparation should people do before the race?
Well, first of all, make sure you get your helmet. Like he said, check your brakes, check your tires, check the chains on the bike, make sure everything is tight so nothing comes loose while you're pedaling, because you don't want to get hurt.
What about eating, drinking?
Oh, definitely. You got to eat before you come by, and you make sure you stay hydrated
Stay hydrated.
before and after.
We got some people riding bicycles to work. What's the advantage of commuting the bicycle? I just heard National Bike. We're actually putting a bike rack in the back of City Hall.
Excellent.
What do you think?
What's the advantage? Well, there's only so many cars you can fit on the city streets at this point in time. You can always fit more bicycles out there. It's a healthy activity. Part of what Groundwork is doing right now, we're participating in a coalition called Shaping Elizabeth, with the city's part of as well, which is to build up community health in Elizabeth. So it's a form of outdoor activity, which is, again, part of health.
So, Rudy, last question. Does this event happen rain or shine?
Absolutely.
No matter what?
No matter what. I've done it once when it was raining.
So did I. I did it that year,
I was
too.
soaked.
I did it that whole year, 15 miles in the rain.
Yes, it was great.
Not fun.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's a difficult day. Very difficult. And if you become tired during the race, there's a wagon to pick you up, right?
Yes.
Jonathan, how do you register? Get additional information? Who do you call?
Yeah, important. There's still time to register online. You'll probably pay the higher price at this point in time. It's elizabethnj.org, the city's website, or groundworkelizabeth.com. There's a wonderful poster that we have. You may see these in bicycle stores and libraries and other places in the city. So you can just click on. There's also a QR code. You can get your phone and zap it right in there and go right to the registration.
Rudy, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show this evening.
Thank you for
Jonathan, I
having
thank you for your work as well. And Rudy, look forward to you being the marshal on Sunday and riding. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the weather's going to be great.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Thanks.
For Jonathan Phillips and Rudy Burgos, please stay with us after these messages where we're going to talk about Portugal Day Committee.
Experience Elizabeth. It all starts